For centuries, Europe was not ruled by nations. It was ruled by bloodlines. A single royal family could decide the fate of millions. Kings claimed they were chosen by God. Queens married to prevent wars. Princes were murdered before they could touch the crown. And behind every golden throne was betrayal. This is the story of early European monarchy, a world of power, fear, ambition, and blood. When the mighty fall of the Western Roman Empire shattered Europe, chaos followed. Cities collapsed, trade disappeared, violence spread across the continent. People were desperate for protection, and from that fear, kings were born. These early rulers were not elegant monarchs sitting in palaces. They were warriors, brutal leaders who conquered lands with swords and fire. A king's power depended on only one thing: how many soldiers were willing to die for him. One of the most powerful rulers of this era was Charlemagne. By the year 800, he controlled vast territories across Europe, and when the church crowned him emperor, everything changed. Kings no longer ruled with just armies. They ruled with religion. To oppose the king, as centuries passed, monarchies grew stronger. Massive castles rose across Europe. Royal bloodlines became sacred, and a dangerous idea spread through the continent. The king was chosen by heaven. This belief became known as the divine right of kings. It gave monarchs absolute authority. No elections, no democracy, no freedom. The crown controlled everything: taxes, wars, religion, even life and death. But inside royal palaces, fear never disappeared. Every throne had enemies. Brothers betrayed brothers. Queens plotted against rivals. Nobles changed loyalty overnight. The crown looked glorious from the outside, but inside the palace, it was survival. During the Middle Ages, Europe became a battlefield of royal dynasties. In England, kings fought rebellious nobles for control of the throne. In France, monarchs built enormous wealth while peasants suffered in poverty. Across Europe, marriage became a political weapon. Princesses were no longer just daughters. They became alliances, peace treaties, sometimes the key to preventing war. One royal marriage could unite kingdoms. One royal death could destroy them. Powerful families like the Habsburgs expanded their influence across Europe without fighting massive battles. Their strategy was simple: let others wage war, you marry. For ordinary people, life under monarchy was brutal. Peasants worked endlessly, while nobles lived in luxury. If crops failed, families starved. If the king demanded taxes, people obeyed. Questioning royal authority could mean torture, prison, or execution. Some monarchs became legendary rulers. Others became symbols of cruelty. One king could bring peace. Another could destroy an entire kingdom through greed and obsession. Yet despite the suffering, people still admired royalty, because kings and queens seemed larger than life. They wore crowns of gold, lived inside gigantic castles, and commanded armies powerful enough to erase cities from existence. But behind the jewels and ceremonies, they were still human, afraid, paranoid, and willing to do anything to protect the throne. Slowly, Europe began to change. New ideas spread across the continent. Freedom, rights, democracy. People started asking dangerous questions. Why should one family rule forever? Why should birth decide power? Why should kings live like gods while ordinary citizens suffered? These questions would eventually shake every monarchy in Europe. Some royal families adapted, some collapsed violently, and some disappeared forever. But the legacy of monarchy never truly ended. Even today, Europe's castles still stand. Royal bloodlines still survive, and the stories of kings, queens, betrayal, and war continue to fascinate the world. Because monarchy was never just about ruling land, it was about controlling history itself. The crowns of Europe were built with gold, but held together by fear, ambition, and blood. And behind every royal legend was a kingdom fighting to survive.
If this video helps you, hit a likes, comment for upgrade, thank you.